So Tony, just moving on to yourself, first of all, congratulations and wishing you the very best of luck as you take up the Regional Executive Officer role next week, I think, or very soon. And I suppose, look, it's really encouraging because you know a lot of the people working in this area, you know the services very well, and more importantly, you know the diverse needs of the population in the West and North West. So I think that's a really solid starting point for everybody and very reassuring. So there's a lot of system leaders in the room here today. And what role do you see the people here taking up in enabling this change to happen?
For sure, it is very reassuring for me as well, starting off in a region that I know so well, and I suppose I've worked on the hospital side and I've worked extensively on the community side as well. But also, I'd be very quick to acknowledge that there are huge areas of the service, both still within the hospitals and on the community side, that I have a lot to learn about and a lot to learn about the region as well. So I'm looking forward to that part of it too. I guess, I mean, just listen to the discussion around structures. I really believe that the structures are important. I think they essentially what they do is they put a shape on what it is that we're trying to do. A little bit like one of the presentations earlier on when they were talking about a sense of purpose, you know. So how do you develop that sense of purpose amongst 25,000 people? And that's the staffing complement in this region currently. And you can't do that without some structure. The structure gives us that. It gives us that kind of that unity of purpose, or it helps us to focus in it. It also helps us then as well to look at the population needs. And I think it was, of course, it was Judy Silk that was referring to that, you know, but population health approach becomes possible for us when we define our structure in a particular way, and we can take that approach and maybe take a more long-term view, and it gives us that as well. And the other thing I believe it gives us that's really important is that connectedness. You know, as a staff member, somebody working within the health service, it's really important for me to feel connected to the organisation that I'm part of and to that. And I think that the structures that we have now makes that possible. But a little bit like your first comment, and actually a little bit like what Bernard Gloucester was saying in his video clip as well, it's down to us now what we do with that, you know. So the structures, they're laid out, the geography is laid out, and the shape is starting to emerge. There are still unanswered questions, but I think the questions are starting to shift more over to us now. And what are we going to do with that, and how do we make the most of that? And that's an important challenge for us to take on board, because you know, in 5 years' time, you know, not starting on the 1st of March, so we'd say 5 years from the 1st of March, what I'd like to be able to look back on is a health service that we have made a change with together, that we've improved things together. But for us to do that, we have to recognise the opportunity that's in front of us and grab it.